Hey there, welcome to the video. We have a very interesting topic for today, but it's only for the open-minded. If you're closed-minded and prone to angriness, if you're prone to anger, don't watch this video. Now, I like to always give an update on the power of growth. Remember, pure trend following, let your winners run, cut your losses short, is the best and most researched form of trading that's ever existed. Goes back hundreds and hundreds of years, way more than stock market, buy and hold. And it's 3 times as good if you do the research. So trend following is pure growth, and here's growth. The 40 in, 20 out, it's a $5 million hypothetical portfolio that they track in real time every day. It does awesome in trends. Can make triple digits, high triple digits. But this is what it's done as of making of this video, which is August 18th, 2025. It's down 12.58%. So the question is always, how do you pay the mortgage when your growth is down 12.58%? Okay? Because of that serious problem, because that's the problem that's made me change the things that I think about, because of that, more and more people are coming around to this concept. More and more people want actual income rather than the hopes and dreams that someday growth will happen. It's all hopes and dreams. Growth is all an imaginary, fingers crossed moment, right? Whereas income comes in. We don't know if it's going to grow. We do know income's coming in. You see, it's a tough thing to think about. It makes people angry. But even though people are loving the idea and all the new products that have come out to help with this idea, even though that's the case, people still want growth, right? And it's the same as the emails that I used to get constantly, and still sometimes do. I get an email saying, hey, no big deal. I just want a robot that makes 10% a month with very little drawdown. It's like, okay, it's 120% per year, right? And no drawdown. That's great. I love those emails. And I also love people who want 100% yield and 100% growth. I love that. But anyway, you kind of have to sacrifice one for the other. But anyway, moving on. Nonetheless, people can't get over a falling chart, right? They want that income, as I just said, but the falling chart is just horrifying. Now, a falling chart that doesn't add distributions back in doesn't make sense to me. But that's still, people don't do that. People still look at the stock chart and it drives them crazy. But people want all of the yield. They love the concept. They want all the yield and none of the decay, right? I want all the credit and none of the blame, as Michael Scott once said. And so to do that, people are loving and making videos about and talking loudly about this combination. What if I got income and growth? And what is the number one thing they talk about? SPYI, if you're talking about the S&P. QQQI is the other one. Those are the big ones, right? SPYI, yes, I still get income, but I get growth because SPYI is made for growth. Has an 11%-ish yield. It changes. It's built for growth. That's why it was created. It was supposed to go up over time. And of course, it's diversified because it's based on the S&P 500. We love and want SPYI. And here's a weekly chart. Monthly chart. And you can see it goes back. Well, I mean, yes, it goes up over time. Looks kind of stagnant. But hey, it's going up, right? If you look over to the far right, it's gone up 3% since inception, which is okay. That's growth, I suppose. But what we do not want is CONY. People love to make videos on yield max and ETFs like CONY. Look at that. Granted, this chart does not add distributions back in, but look at that falling chart. Horrible. But here's the point of the video, and here's the experiment. What if CONY became SPYI? What? Okay. Instead of just looking at yield max and taking the side, right? I'm a dividend Procter & Gamble investor, and I will work for Morningstar, and I will write articles saying that these things are risky, and I will make videos saying these things are risky, and I will look down my nose at people wanting income, and I will be very sanctimonious about it, okay? But instead of doing that, and then going deaf and blind, not listening to any of the arguments, not taking 1 second to realize how these ETFs make money, just the mere concept makes you furious, so you go deaf and blind, right? And then you fight to maintain ego, which is what we do these days, right? We take a side, we don't listen to reason, and then we fight to maintain our ego because nothing is more precious than keeping our beliefs, okay? Instead of doing all that, instead of going blind, instead of fighting to maintain my point of view, what if we took these great tools, because these are great income tools, and what if we use them any way we want, right? We can do whatever we like. We don't have to do it as is. We can think it over. So what if we turn CONY into a 15% yielder? Of course, CONY makes way more than that, which is what makes people so angry. But we won't take the whole thing. We won't build our entire future on the whole thing. We'll just take 15%. That's it. 15% yield per year. Okay? SPYI, that's what the videos say. Listen, if you want growth and you want income, you have to have under 20% yield. Mostly under 15% yield. Why? I stopped at 15 for this little experiment. And by the way, as we've talked about, SPYI doesn't even give 15. So CONY is turning into a 15, but SPYI is not 15. Okay? It's lower than that. And here's your experiment. We'll go back to near inception for both, October 2023. And for CONY, it pays out a lot, but we're only going to take a 15% yield, right? We'll divide what is 15% on our total investment, right? And we'll divide that into a monthly payment, and that's all we'll take. I'll show you that in a second. And we'll spend it for this particular experiment. We're taking it. We're using the money. So we're not reinvesting. The rest of the cash then just sits in the account. Well, what does that look like? Well, I've been tracking this. Okay, this is the kind of stuff I do. Here's 10/2/2023. CONY was 1968 back then. So I took a $2,500 investment, just $2,500 easy. Divided $2,500 by that, and we got 125 shares, okay, at that particular price. 2,500 divided by the price gave us that many shares, right? You multiply those two together, and you get about $2,500, okay? That first distribution that CONY paid out was $1.21 a share, so the spreadsheet then adds shares to the distribution, and the total payout that month was $151, but for 15% yield, we just take out $31 a month. So there's excess, right? 151 came in, 31 goes into our pocket. There's 120 left. Pretty easy, right? And so I did this for all the month. You can see that the distributions are all over the place. But we just kept the share price the same, and we just took whatever it actually was priced at in the market. And if you go through, this is a running excess, so it just adds up, right? We saved $120 the first month, $103 the next, $276, and we just added that all up. And at the end, through August 2025, $3,100 is just sitting in our account over time. Okay? So that's a spreadsheet. Feel free to find any mistakes. I'll be happy to correct myself, but I think it's right. Okay? We'll summarize now. $2,500 investment. The share price dropped, as you saw, from 1968 to 745. Yikes. That's terrible, right? Ugh, that's exactly why you should never think of CONY. But it paid out way more than 15%. You saw that. And if we took out the 15%, right, we pocketed that and kept the rest. Remember, we had $3,100 just sitting there. So let's add that up. 125 shares at the current price, which I looked at before this video. That leaves us only $931. But if you add the cash, $3,100 plus $900, you get about $4,000 total. This is what our shares are worth, and this is what the cash is worth in our account. $4,000. Okay? With me? Pretty easy. Now let's look at SPYI. We know it went up over time, right? So we did 2,500. We divided by the share price. 45.88. We got a certain amount of shares, right? Now, the share price has increased from 45 to 51. That's what we're talking about. That's why people love SPYI and QQQI. Hooray! But it did only pay out 11%-ish, right? Changes every month. So we took all of the payment, and there's no excess cash sitting in our account. We have to rely on the growth, because this is why we like it in the first place. Keep in mind, this parents are variable, and it's less than CONY's 15%. Total, so we have 54 shares times $51, which is the current price I took, and that's $27.92. And that's it, right? Our 2,500 has turned into $27.92 based on the growth, which is what we're looking for. Wait a second. 15% CONY left us with $4,000 in cash and prizes, and beloved SPYI left us with $2,700. And CONY reliably paid the same each month because it's less than the total payout. So we got our payment, and it was rock solid. It was not guaranteed because nothing is, but it was rock solid since 2023. So wait a second. CONY paid more, made more, and is more reliable since 2023. CONY's the safe one? Yeah. Confusing, right? An interesting little experiment. But what if we didn't take any money out? Just look at it. What if we just invested in both initially and then reinvested all the payments? Of course, it's a blowout, right? CONY total return of 138% and SPYI since 2023, right? Since October 2023, it's 138% to 38. So that falling stock chart, ETF chart, absolutely destroyed precious SPYI. Now, this is breaking news. This just happened today as I make this video. CONY just announced its worst dividend payment ever. It's horrible. It's far less than anything it's paid out previously. And that makes people very happy. Gives them glee, right? To say, haha, it doesn't work. And yet it's still more than enough to pay out its 15% yield. So even this month, with all the bad things that have happened to CONY lately, you still would have gotten that same yield, and you'd still have more money than SPYI. So let's wrap it up. Be careful who you listen to out there, right? Even me. Do your own thinking. Do your own research. These high yield income products are amazing tools, and they don't rely on the dream of growth or the dream of Rome, right? Keep your options open. Think of it in creative ways. Do your own thought experiments. Embrace the joy of getting income every month. And keep your mind open, right? Will gets it. All right, let's wrap it up. Any trading system I talk about, if you're an elite member, you get it for free. And elite members also get the dividend income program where I talk about things like this, right? And if you like the video, of course, I'm obligated to tell you to like and subscribe. Zach would be much appreciated if you would do that. And this is my new website, scottwelchstrategies.com, brand new. These are 2 books that I've written. I'm going to work on a 3rd. And this is a disclaimer, of course, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment and education purposes only. That's all for this time. I'll be back soon. Bye for now.